This video is for all ladies who are sex workers or who are over the age of 25 or who think that they're somehow undesirable for any man because no man will want them. That's what they were told by society and they believe it, so they're watching YouTube videos which corroborate this belief. And there are a lot of YouTubers out there who in the manosphere and so on, who are teaching women that they're undesirable because they're too old, they have too many children, they've had too many cocks in their pussies, and other such complete, utter nonsense. It reminds me of the whole concept of labeling and giving labels, okay? Let's talk about labeling and giving labels. Eckhart Tolle talks a lot about labeling and how you can be with an experience, or you can really enjoy it and be present with an experience, or you can label it. And then you're just in your head and you're not enjoying it. For example, you can be in the most beautiful forest and you're just feeling, breathing in the fresh air and just enjoying the leaves on the ground and your body moving through the forest and the canopy and the birds, and it's just so beautiful and you're just feeling so nourished and whole. Or you can walk through the forest with the eyes of a, trying to label everything. Have your book out, what tree is that? What's that tree? Labeling everything rather than being with it. I hope that makes sense. Like I can look at that tree right now and think, okay, I wonder what kind of tree that is. What's the name of that tree? Or I can just be in awe with the movement of the leaves and the experience of the tree. Okay, so I want to really make people aware that there are different ways of seeing the world or being with the world. It can be through labeling, or not just even curious labeling, it could be worse. It can be through the eyes of cynicism or judgment or critique, like, what's wrong with that tree? It can look at what's wrong with everything, and I'm just coming from like this hateful place. Or I can just enjoy the experience. And ultimately, all of life is just energy. It's energy. We tend to be drawn to the people whose energy we like, the energy that mirrors our energy. So that's why codependents get with narcissists. I love watching videos about narcissists. Narcissists are codependent on constantly needing a source of supply and validation. And codependents have no sense of self. So they are always outsourcing it. So these people are a perfect match, and they hurt each other so deeply. But they're mirroring each other's inner wounds. Like the person who needs validation is matched up with the person who constantly wants to give validation, because when I give validation and I give myself away, that's how I feel safe. The more I give myself away, that's what I have to do to feel safe. And the more I get validation, the more I can play with your emotions and toy with you, then I am someone. We're just energy, okay? That's what I want to say. And the more we heal ourselves energetically and the more we feel whole inside, the more we're going to be matched with people who are that. Okay, so it's easy to sit around making negative news stories or blathering out negative thoughts, but ultimately in our real life, in our real interactions, we pair up with people whose energy matches ours. So ladies, do not be concerned about your past or even what you're doing if people like it or not. Focus on your energy. Focus on how you feel about yourself. Focus on your connection to love. Focus on your energy. Focus on being self-sourced. The more you start to feel that you are the source of love, you are the source of light, the less you will be looking for validation from other people outside of you, and you won't be thrown off track by people who are using limiting labels to describe or devalue you as a ball of energy. Like we're all a magnificent ball of energy. But some of us allow other people to come in and diminish us through labels. They don't see our energy, and if we don't feel our energy, we let these labels diminish us. Let me give an example I just gave on my other video. I love this shirt. New shirt. If I'm going to the opera and there's a beautiful performance and the opera singer is singing and all the costumes, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And then the guy behind us is complaining because, you know, the opera singer, he doesn't like her shoes. That guy who doesn't like her shoes is the guy saying no one wants to date a sex worker. He is missing the gloriousness of who you are. And once you feel the gloriousness of who you are, you won't be thrown off track. Why would you want to date a guy who's just who doesn't like your shoes and doesn't see your glory? We're ultimately energy. Now, the reason I would want to date someone, the things I look for in someone I want to date, isn't how many kids they have or any of that stuff. I want to see, what kind of person are you? What's your energy like? What's your vibration like? Are you creating things in the world? Are you contributing to the world? Are you a source of love? Are you a source of light? Do you take responsibility for your feelings? Do you show up? Do you keep your word? Do you have integrity? You know, like, do you prefer good news over bad news? Are you looking for drama and chaos and criticizing and putting people down? Are you a person who likes to lift people up? You know, who likes to nourish? Who takes responsibility? Those are the things that matter about us, you guys. Not how many cocks you've had in your pussy, not how many children you've had. Nothing about your past matters. Nothing about your past matters. It's your current energy that matters. That's all that matters. We're just energy, you guys. That's what I really want to get through to people. The world is full of people who haven't realized this. The world is full of people who haven't realized that we're just energy, and they're looking for love, approval, and validation by getting things, and because they are so stuck and labeled and they haven't felt their own positive energy, they go around putting people down. Someone who is like happy with themselves is not going to go around on YouTube making comments diminishing you or telling you that no one will want you. That is not a loving thing to say. That is not a loving thing to say. That comes from pain. You don't have to entertain pain. If you're watching YouTube videos from the manosphere or anyone place where people are like criticizing other people or putting down their guests or not valuing, honoring, and respecting their guests, what part of you is hooked into that drama and that negativity? Break that chain, you guys. Watch something positive that reflects the level that you want to be at. I was watching a YouTube video yesterday from someone whose videos I've watched before that were really good. And he on 3 women that had OnlyFans pages. And for some reason, this young man had a completely different vibe on this video, and he had Kevin Samuels on. And I don't want to like badmouth people necessarily, but Kevin Samuels is a person that I feel like is coming from a very wounded place, because he interrupts the women that call him in and he puts them down, and the women take the bait because they feel unworthy already, so they are a perfect match. But anyway, on the show with the 3 women that were on, the young man who was interviewing them was really kind of jabbing them and putting them down. It made me very uncomfortable, and I think he did it maybe to play up to Kevin Samuels, who was also had called into the show, and they were just lashing on these women, letting them know that their beauty, their money was short-lived, and what are they investing it in, and you know, just kind of, it was hateful and it was negative energy, I want to say. It didn't feel good to me. I think there are many ways that you can be an elder to women. Like, say you're trying to help a young woman in her early 20s who's in the porn industry, she's making a lot of money. You might say, hey, it's so great that they were telling them that they weren't really entrepreneurs, they were just like attention whores, more or less. It's not that easy to make a lot of money on OnlyFans. And you need a certain skill set. It doesn't just like money flows to you. They had to do something. But as an elder, you might say, hey, your beauty may not last forever, so you might want to develop some other skills while you're making this money, get some other education or develop some other skills for something that will be really lasting. And, there's so many beautiful parts of you other than your body. Like, what are those parts of you, and which parts of you would you like to develop? More like an Iyanla. I love Iyanla. Let's talk about the difference between Kevin Samuels and Iyanla as to their state of their heart and where they're coming from. Okay, that's really what I think I want to get at. So we're all energy, and what I'm going to invite you to do is just kind of think about where in your body you feel that disconnection from loving yourself or being loved by God. And feel into those wounds so that you can release them and realize that you really are loved. Any story that we have about being bad or being separated from love, they're just stories in the mind. Like, we just create our own reality. Like, who the fuck said? Who the fuck decided what makes a woman valuable? Like, you get to decide what makes you valuable. And there are a lot of people who are trying to tell you that you're not, because the world is a wounded place. Not because they're right, but because they're coming from pain. Only people coming from pain will devalue other people. I don't make videos going around talking about how bad certain people are. Sometimes I get upset with some people, but I don't make videos saying that certain men are, well, I have said I don't like older men. I've changed my mind on that. I don't necessarily want to date an old man, but I now just want to date men that are closer to my age. I have no interest anymore in dating younger men. None. I want to meet a man. I want to meet men for dating that are my age, 50s, 60s. That's where I'm at. But to make a whole career out of putting down people for having too many kids, or putting down women for putting people down, to make a whole career of putting people down, that comes from pain. And putting people down anytime comes from pain. So when you feel someone is putting you down, kind of notice, that's pain. Why am I allowing this? What is it in me that's attracting this and allowing it and thinking that it's true? It's not fucking true. That's just their opinion. And if we believe it, it's because we believe it in ourselves. So we have to heal that. It's just as easy to think of yourself as valuable, and we're all valuable. It's just that a lot of us were taught that we weren't. Religion teaches us that we're born sinners and all that bullshit. I want to tell you guys one more thing. As far as men not marrying escorts, that is a bunch of bullshit too, because I know many escorts who are in relationships. They are in relationships. Yep. The same as anyone else in the population, current escorts in relationships. As to me, I got married after I was an escort. I was an escort when I was in my early 20s, and I got married after that. And the man who proposed to me knew I was an escort. He didn't give a shit. I was like, these guys who make it such a big deal, they're tiny guys. Energetically, they're broken. They need some healing. They have some pain. I would say, well, let me finish the story first. So I was married 25 years to a really good guy. I did divorce him because he was emotionally unavailable, which is what I used to go for. But he never abused me or neglected me. He provided for me and my children. He's a really good dad, and he's a really good person. I have no bad feelings about him. And he never cheated on me. I never cheated on him. So this whole thing of who would marry sex workers is just BS. It's just BS. Now, the men that go around berating sex workers, I guess it would be like berating anyone, berating women who've had children or who are a certain age. It comes from some kind of wound in themselves that they're projecting outward, because a person coming from love isn't going to go around talking about how some people are bad. Like right now, I have no interest in making a video talking about men are bad because they have too many children, or, you know, they were an alcoholic, or they filed for bankruptcy too many times, or they're divorced, or, you know, what I really look for in people is their current energy. I think that's what matters, and that's what really attracts people. It's easy to sit around making YouTube videos or TV shows where we give our opinions on how some people are bad, you know, as if that elevates us. Like, it's kind of a narcissistic thing to say even. But I'll tell you one thing that I know for sure, because I do make videos, I've been on social media a lot, and I do meet people in real life, and I will tell you this. There's a huge fucking world of difference between the people who leave negative comments and might put me down, and the people I meet in real life. Because when I'm out in my real life, when I'm at the grocery store, or I'm at the gym, or I'm meeting clients in real life, no one ever puts me down. They won't put you down either. People don't come up to you and go, oh my God, you've had so many children, I would never date you. That's just rude. And it's not even real, because there are people who've said that and then they fall in love with a woman. But somewhere on social media, people leave their hearts behind, and they just start coming from this angry place or this thought place or something, and they make all these comments. Now, it's true that some people might think, and I'm talking to women who are sex workers, it's true that some men might think I would never date a sex worker. But then he might meet you and change his mind, or maybe he's not the guy for you. Maybe that's the guy that's sitting behind you in the opera going, I just don't like her shoes. I could never date a woman with those shoes. And honestly, ladies, if you're a person living from wholesome, loving energy, you don't want a guy who's just stuck in his limited views looking at your shoes. It's just better to go with another guy who's radiating back that same energy. So stop watching those guys that are just complaining about the shoes, and put your attention on the men that are radiating good energy and the women that are radiating good energy, and read books that are about good energy, and watch YouTube videos about good energy, and feel yourself filled with good energy, and start shifting your mindset around what is the energy I am producing, because the world will reflect back to you what you allow in. So again, those people's opinions and beliefs come from their pain, come from their limiting beliefs, and do not come from source or from energy, because ultimately we're all energy. We're not labels. We're energy. Okay? So I hope this has been helpful. If there are any ladies who are sex workers who want to comment to me privately, please send me an email. It's SuperCoachSanDiego@gmail.com. And I can make some more videos, or we can jump on a discovery call for a coaching call, or, you know, whatever you need. I want to support you, because there is no reason for anyone to shame us for how we express our energy and how we express our light, and for us being our light, which is all what we ultimately are. We're just energy. So really start feeling more into the energy rather than the labels. So that's really all I want to leave you with. Just like Eckhart Tolle said, you know, just be present. And I guess one other thing I want to throw in is that I wouldn't date just anyone. I think when I talk about people's energy, I don't know if I already said this, it's really about how much joy do they have in themselves that they're radiating out. How much do they take responsibility for their own lives, for feeling their own need for security, financial security, and love? How much do they contribute to their family and to other people? Like, what are they up to? Do they keep their word? Do they show up? You know, does their lifestyle match mine? Do they also like to go to bed early and get up early and exercise and eat well? And like, how do I feel to be around them? Like, what kind of person are they? How do they feel energetically? That's really the main thing, and that's what I would love you to focus on. Again, thank you for watching my video. Have a wonderful Saturday, everyone.